Hello and welcome to the Tabletop, and today we'll talk about what is Epic Warpath and why I like it or find it cool. And I will take a look with you into the free rulebook that you can download, and it's available for free. We'll take a quick look on that. I will show you a bit of the armies. Like here we have the Plague. I think they have 7 factions, so here you have your plague that spreads through the universe and turns humans into monsters that try to devour the whole galaxy. This is like your zombie infestation, your Nurgle guys. Then you got the Enforcers, which are a bit of the Space Marines. These ones are 8 elite soldiers by the elites. Here we have a bit of a better look. I think this one is the starter. You get here in Germany it costs around $60 and you get a lot in the box, which I like. You don't have to spend a kidney to get a full army. Here you got your command thing. Here you get your support units, your tanks. Definitely the question is this well made also design wise? Does it appeal visually? For me sometimes it's a bit hit and miss. Like I like this alien army, it looks pretty cool. These ones look amazing. The running swarms look really cool. The little swarms look cool. These ones, I don't know. Like these ones are a bit lackluster. But for $60, a whole army, that's pretty cool. And we will talk also about the rules, because while I was reading it, and I think Mantic Games is also always Alessio, and I'm a big fan of how he writes the rules, and they're also always fun, I would say. Like I love his Bold Action 2nd and 3rd edition book, especially the 3rd edition book. And I think he did write it, or he did co-write it. And while I was looking through the rulebook, and I was picking up on, okay, this is like Warhammer meets Bold Action, and it's very digestible. It's very cool, and I will show you in a second. Let me show you first a bit of the armies. So this one is the GCPS, which is like your Imperial Guard. And then here we got the Plague again. And I think it's kind of cool. So I like these ones, really, really good. I like the troops. The tanks, I don't know. Maybe a bit more effort would have been cool. But for $60 to get a box like this, I find it really cool. I don't know how expensive Legion Imperialis is. I'm sure the models are gorgeous. But sometimes like for $60 and then buy something, paint it, and I think you don't have to invest any more money into this if you don't want to. So that's really a plus. And here's your starter. Like you get a lot of stuff, and I think that's enough for playing. And I think if you don't want to, you don't have to expand more. Then you got your Forge Fathers, which are space dwarfs. I'm sure they're slower than other armies, but tougher, and maybe they punch harder. Then you got your Asterians, your Austrians in space, your space Austrians, which are maybe your Necrons, Eldar, Protoss faction. They have really cool stuff. Like I think this and this looks cool. Sorry, this is a bit pixeled. Again, the Enforcers, your Forge Fathers. And what else? Like, yeah, they have cool stuff. And this one I was already showing. And as you can see, like from $80 to $70, I have seen it also going for $60. Like, and some of the models are pretty cool. So pretty affordable. That's what I like about it. Does it look the best it can? No. It's not the best looking game. That's a critique point, but maybe it will grow. And I'm still curious to get one in my hands and see what I can do with the paint jobs, because the 3D sculpts, as you can see here, they look great. And let's get into the rulebook. Let's do it this way. Or let's do it, wait a second, if I scroll, okay, this time it goes. Okay, so let me zoom in a bit. And it uses a D8 dices. It has a scatter dice, it has some special command dice, I don't know, maybe this can be proxied. And then again, it shows you what you can field in your army. You can also include one super heavy. And so the first part of the book is all rules. The second part of the free rulebook you can download is the 7 factions with all the data sheets. And then at the end of the book, the final part is the lore. And I can see why they did it. And as you can see here, here you get your data sheet. Jet bikes cost 200 points. I think this one is the advance and the run move, the assault, save, armor, and all of that stuff, the ranges for the weapons. And while you're reading this, it is very easy to get in, because like if you have read something like 40k or something like Bold Action, it is really cool to get into something like this. So let me do it this way. It's a bit faster. Here you get your armies, measuring tape, okay, line of sight, nothing new here. And here, this is kind of cool. You get your command phase, and both people get a command phase. So it's alternating activations, and it's like we both get a command phase, we both get a movement phase, and then you have your priority and you move first, then I move a unit, then you move a unit, and then until we all have moved our units. And then it's the Overwatch phase, which is the shooting phase, and then it's the combat phase, and it's always alternating, which is really cool. So they kept it simple, they kept it fair. Roll for initiative, then you have some markers. Let me jump into this, and when it's important I will go into it a bit more. So here, reveal hidden activation tokens, and here you get your special order. This is like your generic stratagems, I would say. And for one, you can order extra activation, which is cool. So you have always, for one command point, you can always activate an extra unit if you need it. Or you can fight on, like you can reroll, or you can clear a pin marker, which gives you courage. So it's pretty cool. Let me jump back into this one. Movement phase, nothing to explain here. Coherency, moving units, charges and something like that. Everything you have, like you have seen this. If you charge a unit, you can overwatch it. I would say similar as in Bold Action, end of an activation. Then you get your shooting phase, which is called the Overwatch phase. Nominate a target, check line of sight, determine how many dice you have to roll. There's definitely like cover in here somewhere, as you can see here. And here you have your modifiers, like target is in cover, -1, target has the fly keyword, -2, target is stealth, -1, shooting unit has a pin marker. Like if you're shooting and you have a pin marker, pin markers do not stack. You can only have one pin marker, but then it's -1 to shoot and then roll to damage, and it's pretty cool. So shooting and assaulting, then you have your blast weapons, and again, like a very early version of 40k, or maybe a version of Bold Action. And the cool thing about the blast markers, they can also scatter, so you can hit, but it can also miss. And I think you don't have a bunch of rerolls, but you have your command points. So here and there, if you need it, you can land a shot, but if you cannot afford it, things will go wrong, things will scatter. And then there's the shooting, the assault, and here are the assault modifiers, similar like, yeah, so you get definitely, I don't know, I would say not a streamlined, but a very simple system which allows you to play a very fluid game. And I think that's important. Then multiple combats, end phase, pinning. While a unit has a pin marker, it suffers -1 to its hit modifier. And yeah, and this is how it can look. And I think that's pretty cool. So pretty affordable. Looks okay only. Some units look cool. Some units don't look that good, but maybe maybe they will put out some new units or upgrade the game. I don't know, maybe. Then terrain is pretty cool. So if something is, as you can see here, it has a certain height, a medium height building, a tall building, so you cannot look over the building. Maybe you can hide some flyers behind that. I'm sure the flyer has a certain height characteristic. And then running through open terrain, no difficulty terrain, you can only advance, and this is similar to bolt action, I would say. Building I didn't read, but not too complicated, I'm sure similar to bolt action. What else? Transport was also similar to bolt action, I would say. Maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Leaving a transport, and yeah, and then you got your and here you get your melee, and then you get your flyers. And this is cool because, like in Team Yankee, the flyers, I think you have your helicopters, but before they shoot, the enemy can shoot, and they can't shoot you down, because like in World War III or in the Cold War, you have strong things to shoot down aircraft. And here I think it's a bit, I don't know, I have to see, but flyers seem to be okay protected, so we will see. And I have to say I love flyers and all of that stuff. Like it's not often that you can see like units on the table like this. Like, I don't know if these are transports, but you come in with your transport, you deliver the goods. I like stuff like this. And in the scale of 10 millimeters, I think it is 10 millimeters, it looks really great, and you can definitely use the whole table. It's played on a 4x6 table, so very standard. And then you get the keywords, as you can see here, and yeah, not too much. And I think every faction shares the keywords, so I'm sure some faction will have something in addition. But then you have like your pinning, you have your resilience, you have your scout, and yeah, pretty accessible. Vicious, every 8 is an exploding 8, so sustained hits. And then I think you can do a lot with the color schemes. Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but I would be definitely curious. And then here you get your scenarios, which is also very cool. Let me switch into this, and let's go to... So you get your objectives, scenarios, so you're covered, you get a little bit of things. I think it looks good. And then you get to your army list, and this is really cool, how you build your armies. It's not super complicated, so you get one HQ, or maybe like for one company, maybe you can bring 2 companies, but for your one company you get one HQ, you get 2 to 4 troops, as you can see here. For each troop you're bringing, you can bring 1 team of specialists. For any 2 troops you can bring 0 to 4 supports. Maybe that means that you can bring for 2 troops 1 support team, and maybe bring 4 tanks. And if you have one of these, maybe you can bring then 1 super heavy tank, or if you're playing the Plague, you can bring 1 heavy beast, and transports I think is unlimited. And so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I kind of like it. What else? And I think now we get into the army lists. Let me go here. Okay. I know what it wants, so let's get into the army lists. Technical problems. The Astarians. So these ones are your space aliens again. And I think these are now like 5 to 10 pages, and you get your special army rule. You get your up here you get your army nerf, which is probably the morale. You get your special stratagems, and then it's right into the troops. And a couple of pages, and I think you can print them out or copy them or somehow put them on the table, and that's it. Here you have all your units, and you can just play. And after that you get the enforcers, you get your special rules, and then you get your troops, your specialists, your supports, transports, HQ, super heavy, and that's it. And that's really, really cool, like very, very, how do you say, simple. So troops, you get your steel warriors, your specialists. So I would say you get 4 troop choices, you get 4 specialist choices, or even more. Here it's 7, then you get 5 supports, 2 transports, 4 HQ, 2 super heavies, and then I don't know what this is, but yeah. Here we're now going into the Imperial Guard. What else? Then we got our Marauders, which are the greenskins, the orcs. Then you get your Nameless, which are alien swarms. And I know, very generic, but it's all there. And then you get a Plague, which is like Plague Marines, zombies in space. Really cool. Or the Crazies. Then you get your Vermin, which are space Skavens. I think they have very cool troops. I'm sure very fun rules too. And that's it. And then you go into the story. If you then want to know more about the story, then it shows you a bit of the world and where everything is. And yeah, it's kind of cool. It is a bit generic, I have to say, but it allows you to play games in a cool space universe with enough troops. It is very affordable. I wish some of the minis, especially the tanks, were a bit more cooler. But overall, I'm intrigued. I'm thinking I will get myself one army and paint it up and hopefully play it against a friend. And as you can see here at the end of the book, the quick reference sheet, as it should be, and then that's it. So far, this is, let me see, yeah, this is Epic Warpath, and let me know what you think about the game. If you think it's cool, if you think it's crap, let me know how good Mantic Games is, if they do good stuff or if they are all over the place. And yeah, just I'm open to know stuff. And forces, force fighters. So, and I think, oh, here is a new one. Oh, this one is also available in 28mm. So they make 28mm and the epic scale. That's very cool. I think just that their homepage is a bit lackluster. So I would upgrade that. Not very good. Like I thought the Games Workshop website is trash, but this is not very good. What is good is you have an Epic Warpath list builder. You got here the rules. Yeah, some of it is not bad. This is good. But yeah, we see us in the next game and keep playing. See ya.